One of the common questions that especially new real estate investors ask is real estate investing risky? Well, I'll tell you, yeah, it is risky. So is working at corporate America. Trust me, I've been there. Working at corporate America for the rest of your life will not get you ahead. I was well on that path until I started to discover real estate investing and all the ways that you get all these benefits and the passive income and the tax write-off, and the list just goes on and on. In this video, what I'm going to show you is and teach you how to minimize your risk. The risks are there. There's some things you can control, but again, in this video, I'm going to show you how to minimize your risk and to be able to get into real estate investing a lot more confident. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand when you get into real estate, you need to make sure that any property that you buy, you need to buy it below market value. I teach this all the time. And when I speak about getting something below market value, I'm getting properties that are distressed, that need rehab work for like flooring or roofing or plumbing or electrical. That's one way to buy it below market value, because I don't want to buy it at market rent. And then another thing is the type of properties that I get, or I'm dealing with motivated sellers, people that have a problem, people that are going and have an issue. For example, I bought a lot of properties where people were going through a divorce. I'm not taking advantage of anybody. We're solving people's problems. And that's the key of having a business. When you can solve people's problems, then you can win. Quick break from this video, and hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I do. But I want to make a quick announcement. I'm excited about my new event coming up, and it's right around the corner. And I'm going to be teaching you about real estate investing. I'm going to be teaching you the framework on how to get started. I'm going to be teaching you how to find profitable deals where most people are missing. I'm going to teach you how to get funding for your properties, because a lot of people have bad credit, and that's okay. And you don't have millions of dollars. This is not for millionaires. And I'm going to be teaching you how to go out there and cash flow your deals by working with Section 8. That's my bread and butter. I've been dealing with low-income housing Section 8 and doing investing for the past 20 plus years. So I'm going to be giving you my strategies and my methods all in my workshop. So if this is something that you're interested in and you really want to level up and be independent instead of codependent on a corporate America job, I highly recommend you go down below. The descriptions and everything, the date, the time, everything is down below. Click the link. Spots are limited. See you inside. Enjoy the rest of the video. It's a win for them because they get the property off of their hands since they're going through a divorce. I win as well because I'm buying it below what it's worth. So, for example, if there's a property out there for $150,000, I find the ones that are dealing with motivated sellers or distressed properties that need rehab. Instead of paying $150 for it, I'm gonna end up paying $80,000, just to give an example. The point is, I want that cushion because I want that safety net if and when the market does turn. So I'll be in a great position. Here's another thing. So every property that I get, I gotta make sure I do my due diligence. What do I mean by this? What I'm saying is that every property that I get, I make sure I go over it with a fine-tooth comb. So again, I'm making sure things are repaired. I need to put down the expenses to replace things like the flooring, the roofing, the AC unit, whatever it is. I need to calculate that and tally that in my expenses when I go get these loans, because that is really, really important. So I do my own personal inspection because I need to know what gets fixed, but I always hire an inspector for all my deals, because an inspector is going to be able to go into these properties and go in places where I can't go. For example, behind the walls. You know, they may have some type of finder or something. They go behind the walls, or they go up on the AC unit or inside the attic, or they'll go on top of the roof. These are things where I can't see or I don't choose to go. But the point is, guys, you need to get a certified, qualified inspector to check your deals. I never buy a property unless it gets inspected. I'm not going to do it any other way. So sometimes when you get into these deals and they're fast moving, sometimes these wholesalers or realtors will tell you, don't get an inspection. That's what they'll tell you. I'm telling you, always get an inspection. And if they tell you not to get one, then I wouldn't even get the deal, because it's too much of a risk later on to buy that property and then you have some type of unexpected expense behind the wall, or the roof comes down because it was old and you missed it during the inspection. All those things are important. Another thing that's really important is you need to make sure that you are screening your tenants. Having good tenants can make or break your business, okay? You will have a hassle if you just get somebody in your property just because you want to fill up a vacancy and you want to make sure that mortgage is paid. I made that mistake at the very beginning. But then as time went on, I started to learn I got to make sure I screen my tenants, and I screen them very, very carefully. I would have to say, after doing this for 25 years, I've only had 3 evictions. That's it. It's because I went through a lot of trial and error. I messed up before, and I just have systems in place that help me out. Like, I have a pre-screening questionnaire before they even get into the lease application. Why? Because I got to make sure they're a good fit at the very beginning. So this is just something that I learned that helps me out to streamline my process and make it that much more effective and quicker to get my properties filled. But make sure that you screen your tenants very, very thoroughly. Like, let me give you an example. I make sure that my tenants, when they're on Section 8, I'm making sure that I'm looking at their packet, and then when I'm going through the process, I make sure and I'm checking to see what their credit rating is, and I want to see if they had any lease or broken leases. Those things are important to me. There's other things, I'm just giving you an example, but you got to make sure that you screen your tenants thoroughly, because if you get a bad tenant in there, they're going to give you a headache, they're going to give you a hassle, and it can be very bad for your business and for your mental psyche. So trust me, I've learned from this. Be sure you screen your tenants thoroughly. Last but not least, I always mention this, but you need to make sure you get as much learning as possible. I never get enough learning. I feel like I learn every single day. I'm learning from different sources like podcasts. I have my favorite podcasts that I like to listen to. There's certain books that I like to read, but I'm always getting a different perspective from somebody else. And that's what I like about learning, because I'm getting different viewpoints, right? And they may have something that I missed, or they may do something I don't like, whatever it may be. But the point is, I'm making sure that I'm always learning something new, because there's so much to learn out here. And even after doing this for 25 years, it's not like I just stayed stagnant and not trying to learn anything. It is so important, no matter whether you're brand spanking new or even have the most experience, you still need to take the time out to learn and network. Networking is key. I say this too. People will take you places where money can't. I'm going to repeat that again. People will take you places where money can't. Network, network, network. Get in touch with people, rub shoulders, tell them what you do as far as real estate and what you like, and feed off of them so you can learn from them, and maybe you can coincide and y'all do business together in some form or fashion, like contractors, floor techs, roof techs. You can use them in your business. Funding sources like private lenders or seller finance, or you might need other wholesalers. The point is, you need people on your team, and networking is the key. But knowledge is power only when you put it into action. I always say this. Knowledge alone is not going to help you. So feed your mindset, get new perspectives, get new ideas, learn. So this is how you minimize your risk in real estate. I'm sure there's a lot more, but I was just touching over a few of them. But guys, this is what you got to do, because I guarantee you, working a 9 to 5 and exchanging time for wages until the time you retire is not going to get you to financial freedom. And then when you do retire and you cannot work anymore, guess what? You're living off of a measly 401k or pension, and that's not good. Most people do that. Learn the game of real estate, get in, take action, and it'll change your life, just like it has for mine and thousands of others. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this information that I gave you in this video. Share this video if you liked it. Comment down below. I'd love to know what you thought about this video. See you in the next one.